Hi everyone, in this video I want to talk about multiplying binomials, which a lot of us know as FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. Here are the problems that we'll do. Also, to make sure we don't take ourselves too seriously, let's think about our fun question during the video. If money was no object, what car would you drive? Okay, before we dive in, let's talk about this in relation to the whole rest of the section. So multiplying two binomials, that is technically a polynomial times a polynomial. So this would fall under operations with polynomials. A binomial technically is a polynomial. Polynomials refer to a monomial, binomial, trinomial, and up. But technically we hear polynomials referred to more commonly as having a higher degree, so like a 3, a 4, or 5 as the highest exponent in the sequence of terms. All right, so let's dive in. And I want you to think about this first problem as just 4 separate pieces. So we have a 5x, a 4, an 8x, and a 7. FOIL really is just grouping this first term with both terms in the other binomial, and then this second term with both terms in the other binomial. So after the problem is finished, you just need to make sure that all of the pieces were connected. Not the 5x with the 4, but you need to make sure that you have every combination of numbers multiplied from one set of parentheses to the other. So the FOIL acronym stands, like I said, for first, which would be this, F, outer. Outer meaning the two outer terms. The F for first stands for these firsts are multiplied together. I, the inners. L would be the lasts. Okay, so first we're going to do the 5x times the 8x. That's 40x squared. Why x squared, not 40x without the squared? Well, we have to remember throughout this whole video, this whole concept, that let's say we have an x plus an x. That's 2x. However, x times x is x squared. That gets confused all the time. Those two very basic aspects of algebra we need to keep those straight. So 40x squared, we've done the F. Now we need to do the O. That is 35x. Notice I'm adding these terms. So whenever you FOIL or multiply binomials, yes, you multiply, but then once you have your products ready to go, you then need to add them. Okay, so the next part I want to show you, this is a little bit different than I've seen other teachers teach, but I like how organized it is. So now it's time to do the inner, the I. We need to do 4 times 8, which is 32x. Notice I put that under the 35x because I want to have a lane for all of my like terms. And like I said, the operation going forward is just adding. So the 32x needs to go under the 35x so that I can combine those two and get my final answer. First though, let's do the 4 times the 7, which is 28. And now it's time to add straight down. 40x squared plus, this is 67x plus 28. Now, can I combine the 40x squared plus 67x to be, say, 107x cubed? A lot of people think yes when they're first learning this, but we have to remember that the distinction here, you cannot combine terms unless they match perfectly in terms of exponent and variable mixture. So an x squared cannot be combined with an x if you're adding them. It can, however, be combined when you multiply them. Okay, so our final answer just stays like that. Number 2, we have to think about something related to this adding versus multiplying concept. Okay, so I want you to think of this problem versus something like 6v times 4u squared. A lot of students think that you can distribute the 2 there. Because, yes, you can distribute the 2 to all of these, the 6, the v, the 4, and the u. So this would be 36v squared times 16u squared. And then you'd simplify from there. That is not to be confused with adding the 6v and the 4u and then squaring it. So squaring that means you have 2 of them multiplied. So if I distributed that 2, think about what I would be missing out on in my final answer. Don't you get a middle term here? So that is what we would be missing out on. Because wouldn't we get 36v squared plus 16u squared? But look, the answer should be, remember first, 36v squared, outer, 24uv. Ooh, we have 2 variables going on. Then these 2 together, 24uv, then 16u squared. Add them together. Remember, adding is our next step. Final answer, 36v squared plus 48uv plus 16u squared. You cannot combine anything else there. So none of these are like terms. So you keep it. You just keep it as is. All right, let's practice a little bit here. Let's go to these. So first one matches the other first one pretty nicely. However, it's minus. So we want to practice. Just think of this 8 basically as -8. And then this second one also has 2 variables like our other second one did. But this answer I'm going to show you in just a sec if you want to pause the video. That answer is missing a middle term because do you notice how one of these, this is called the difference of squares, one is going to be adding and one is subtracting. So that middle term is going to be 0. So practice those, see how they go. We have one last thing, which is a quote. I really like this one because it gives me a lot of food for thought. Perfectionism is the fear of being criticized. Whoa. So I think there's a little bit of a freedom in not feeling like we have to be perfect. I think this is a great reminder before you take a standardized test, because obviously perfection is the goal. That 36, or for the SAT, that 1600 is the carrot that we're trying to chase. But we have to remember that maybe that the goal here should be more just doing your best, putting all of your effort into prepping, but not necessarily mastering everything perfectly. Doing the best that you can given your circumstances. Okay, now that you've had time to ponder the fun question, I'd love to see your answers in the comments below. Also, if you would like to keep up with new videos, I'd appreciate if you clicked subscribe. Have a great day.